Hello, my beautiful moms. Welcome to Call Mom Conversations. And today we're going to be talking about why do moms overanalyze everything? So, like I always ask you to do, grab your favorite beverage. Today I am drinking coffee and actually I have my water near me because I am still dealing with some allergy stuff. This spring, the allergies are really bothering me. So I do get a froggy every once in a while. So I have both. And do you have a favorite cup that you use for your favorite beverage? I have several, but this one today spoke to me as I opened up my cupboard, and it says blessed. And I am feeling very blessed today. One, the weather is finally changing in this area, so I can get outside more. But I have really been able to get in tune to my own self. And I am very blessed and very grateful for all the things that surround me. I'm grateful that I have a dog that is snoring right below me next to my desk. I am grateful that all of my trees are starting to bloom. I'm grateful that I'm going to be able to put a patio on my deck. And so we're going to talk a little bit about being grateful as a way to also help calm our over analyzing brain. So let's take that deep breath in and out. Let me take a sip and let's go ahead and get started. Have you ever noticed how your brain can turn one small thing into this full spiral? A text gets ignored. You send a text to someone and that no one responds. So you overanalyze that. Your child seems a little quieter when they come home from school. Someone that you're talking to, their tone changes. A bill comes unexpectedly. Your partner seems distant. And suddenly your mind is trying to solve every possible outcome before it even happens. You replay conversations. You think about what you should have said. You imagine worst case scenarios. You try to prepare for every possibility. And honestly, it's exhausting. A lot of moms think overanalyzing means that something is wrong with them. But what if overanalyzing is actually your brain trying to protect you? Have you ever thought about it that way? Is that your brain is trying to protect you? There's a reason why our brain tries to control all of these outcomes. And one big reason is that our brain does not like uncertainty. It likes to know what is happening. Uncertainty increases our anxiety. So, if you are new to here, I am Stacy Johnson. I'm a resilience and momentum specialist, and I help overwhelmed moms go from chaos to calm so that they can have that connection with their kids and build financial stability without wasting time or money trying to find that calm. And we're here today talking about why moms overanalyze everything. So I have noticed that a lot of you come to this channel, which I, again, am very grateful for. But over 90% of you have not subscribed yet. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe and then share this with another mom that you seem that this would fit for. So let's continue. Again, you have learned that uncertainty does not feel safe. Because when life has felt unpredictable, your brain starts believing if I can think through everything, maybe I can prevent the pain. Maybe if I overanalyze this, if I try to control that outcome, then I can prevent the pain that comes with the uncertainties. So you start trying to control things before they even happen. You try to predict moods. You predict problems. You predict disappointment. You predict conflict. I know this is a busy season. This is spring and busy seasons for families, you know, and that's a lot of times where, again, when it's busier, we're trying to overanalyze and trying to control the outcomes, Your daughter's, planning that first prom. She's picked out that perfect dress. And you've noticed the weather forecast, so you're trying to, you know, come up with all the different scenarios of where they could take that perfect picture. And you're doing all that while you're doing all the other things that you do during the day, on top of busy schedules of, finals for school kids or, spring season sports, final concerts at school for band or choir. I get it. I so know what this kind of season brings on. So again, we're trying to predict all the things. And it's not because we're dramatic, because our brain is trying to help us feel safe. And moms do this constantly. We analyze our parenting, we analyze our reactions, we analyze our marriage, our finances, whether we're doing enough. And the hard part is the more overwhelmed you become, the louder your thoughts get. Yeah, because exhaustion makes fear louder. And you probably don't even identify that you are scared or you have fear. You don't, that's not a feeling that you're recognizing. All you're recognizing is all of these things that you want to try to control the outcome. And again, control has been a word that no one thinks about. When we're a mom, it's not that we're thinking about that. I know I didn't. I didn't start to realize that I was trying to control the outcome until I had time to grow within myself. Once I reconnected to myself, I realized that I was trying to control the outcome on so many things. And I was blessed enough to, find a mentor that helped me, get to that inner self and start to, recognize what I was doing. And again, make sure you subscribe so that you can get all the, tips that I am going to be sharing with you. And then down in the description is some other links and grab those while you're at it. I remember a season in my own life where my brain never shut off. And I didn't even realize that my brain was going like that. Even when everything looked fine on the outside, my mind was constantly preparing for something bad to happen. And I didn't even realize that. I was like replaying conversations. I would have a whole conversation on my way to work and never even realize that I had that drive. Like I got to work and be like, I don't even remember, the drive because I was replaying conversations. I would have a whole nother conversation in my head or thinking about all the things I still needed to do, trying to mentally solve tomorrow before tomorrow even arrived. And I didn't even realize that. And I was missing certain present moments. I was living in this what if. And I wondered why I was always tired. I was forgetting little things, so my memory seemed to be, I seemed to just be forgetful. That's what overanalyzing does. It pulls you away from that moment, or the moment that you're actually in, or all the actual moments, all those present moments. And here's something important. Overanalyzing gives you this illusion that you're in control, but it usually creates more fear or more anxiety, more worry, because your brain keeps searching for certainty that life simply cannot give. There will always be unknowns. There will always be things you cannot fully predict. And moms especially struggle with this because we carry so much responsibility. You love deeply. You care deeply. You want your kids safe. You want your family to be okay. You want to avoid mistakes. So your brain says, think harder, figure it out, stay alert, don't miss anything. But staying mentally on guard all day is exhausting for your body and your emotions. Like I said, you don't even recognize sometimes the emotions that you are feeling because one, you're always going, your brain is always going, and you're always trying to control the outcomes that you're not recognizing that what you're doing is creating more worry, but you're not even in tune to those own emotions. Sometimes people can't even label what they're feeling. So this is why we feel mentally drained, emotionally more reactive, disconnected, irritable, and unable to relax. Our brain never feels like it's allowed to rest. And the truth is, peace doesn't come from controlling every outcome. Peace starts when you slowly learn, I can handle uncertainty without abandoning myself. I can handle uncertainty without the fear. That changes everything. Because instead of spiraling, you begin grounding. Instead of predicting every disaster, you begin asking, what is actually true right now? And this is why I started off the conversation talking about blessed or grateful. If you spend a moment in the morning identifying 3 things you're grateful for, it starts to train that brain to look for things that are going well and not all the what ifs. You have to retrain your brain. So, again, instead of trying to predict every disaster, start asking, what is actually true right now? Instead of trying to control everyone else's reactions, you begin to reconnect with yourself. And that's where calm starts to happen. Not in having all the answers, but in trusting yourself even when you don't. And moms, you do not have to solve your entire future today. If the what ifs happen, you can problem solve through them. You do not have to predict what's going to happen. You do not have to mentally carry tomorrow before it arrives. You're allowed to pause. You're allowed to breathe. You're allowed to enjoy your cup of coffee and stop trying to control every unknown. So if this spoke to you today, then again, make sure you subscribe so that you can get more of or all the notices about what is happening. And when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to start a membership where members will get exclusive trainings on more of, how to get to that calm, not just why it's happening to us. And we're going to have, opportunities for Q&A for members to get hot seat coaching. And there will be exclusive meditations and journaling prompts. So make sure you subscribe, share this with another mom that you know could benefit from all of the information that I'm giving. And, you know, down below, I did talk about, that we try to control our finances. We get an unexpected bill, and that creates that fear or uncertainty. One thing that's been helping me is that I'm involved in another business opportunity, and I would love to share that with you. And that link's below as well. It has solved so many of my fears of the unknown when it comes to unexpected bills, because I know that the money will be there because I'm creating that financial freedom with that extra business opportunity. And make sure you grab your Calm and Focus Breakthrough Kit. That'll give you some, tips for, getting calm, a specific journal prompts. And then you can go ahead and book your momentum audit. Let's take a look at what's getting in the way of creating that momentum for you. So again, thanks for joining Calm Mom Conversations. I'm so glad, so blessed that you were here today. And until next time, take a breath, take that moment, enjoy your cup of coffee.